Want to live a tax-free life? Well, welcome to Monaco. This is the video where I teach you not just about Monaco, but how you can genuinely live a tax-free life, because I achieved it back in 2019 onwards and I've never looked back. So I thought this video is going to be a perfect one for an aspiring entrepreneur or someone who's really thinking about their options right now. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you 5 incredible points that will help you right now. Okay, so step number 1 when you want to live a tax-free life is move to a place like Monaco or Dubai. You know, those two are the ones that come to mind straight away. You've got loads of tax havens in the world, but there are different requirements for each, and it's not always feasible. You know, for example, not many people would want to move to Monaco from the UK because it's a small place. Look, you have to live in one of these apartments, which this is a hotel actually. So let me show you some of the apartment sizes. Okay, those are blocks of apartments behind me. Everything's horrible and tiny. So my saving grace when I moved here is you've got to first of all rent this super expensive, overpriced apartment. Secondly, if you can afford it, which I was blessed and I could, is have a villa in France, because you can actually split your time and still be a tax resident in Monaco. So that was the only reason I moved here, and I didn't go crazy because I couldn't live in a little box. But if you're okay and you're a city kind of living, if you're used to living in an apartment, then this will be great. If you like the city vibe environment, then you'll be okay. I'm a country kind of person at heart, so Monaco and France was needed. Anyway, Dubai, different scenario. So you don't have to move to Monaco, but if you wanted to move to a tax haven, the thing I would tell you to do is understand what the laws are. For example, it's different here compared to Dubai. You don't have to be in Dubai very often to still be a tax resident there, but here you have to actually live here for 6 months, which is why, you know, you either go crazy in a small apartment or you have a villa and have both, and you just live in. It's much more expensive to live in Monaco than it is in Dubai, in my honest opinion. Point number 2, once you move to a tax haven, sometimes that's not enough. In fact, it definitely isn't enough. A lot of people think, oh, I'm a resident in Dubai, that means I'm going to be paying no taxes. No. Or I'm a Monaco, I've moved to Monaco, that means I already get 0 taxes. Incorrect. Because you have to understand that your tax domicile is based on where you are physically present in which country are you present in most of the time. And for example, if I lived in Monaco since I've been here since 2019, but then I spent 9 months in the UK or 10 months in the UK just because that's what I was familiar with, etc., then I actually don't have the Monaco residency. You are spending more than a certain amount of period in the UK, you become a taxpayer. So every country has a different law that you have to understand the domicile test. So by the way, none of this video is tax advice. It's just me being an entrepreneur, telling you from an entrepreneur's point of view how to understand how to live a tax-free life, right? So you've got to be very careful where you stay for the rest of the year, because in some places, for example, if you've got children going to school in the UK and you've got personal homes in the UK, you can't live in England for more than 90 days. I have a different scenario and also you're going to have to speak to specialists about this. You can always speak to a tax lawyer. They will tell you. But anywhere you go, even if you're a Dubai resident, but then you spend more, you've got to be careful wherever you go, traveling or working or living. You can have houses in different countries, but if you spend too much time in another country, you end up paying their taxes regardless of your Monaco, Dubai, Cayman Island, any other structure that you have in place. As I mentioned in point 2 just now, where you spend your time physically, i.e. which country you're spending the most time in, is key to making sure that you don't get into trouble with the tax man. Now, number 3 is understanding your UK income source. So this next point is all about understanding your income sources, i.e. if you're making money from the UK, let's just use the UK as an example. Imagine you're living in Monaco, but you have UK property that are paying you UK rent. That becomes UK income, which is automatically taxed regardless if you're living in Monaco, if you're living in Dubai, because it's a UK asset, it involves UK taxes. And that is a very key point. A lot of people misunderstand that, but it's a key one that I wanted to make sure you understand. So this will apply to your clients, it will apply to where in the world you're putting your money, etc. So if you need more help on this, speak to a tax advisor, speak to your accountant. Not all accountants are tax advisors. Remember, I'm just talking to you like an entrepreneur. I want to make these points highlighted to you so that you don't make any mistakes in your tax journey. point number 4 is also quite linked to what I just said. Remember that having a company set up in the UK or any other country, France, Spanish companies, they all involve their own tax jurisdiction. You could have a US company and you're based in Monaco, but you are still going to be paying taxes of that company in that jurisdiction. So don't think that, oh, I'm a Monaco resident, I'm a Dubai resident, but I've got a UK company, I don't pay tax. You do pay tax. So wherever your company is based, you are going to pay corporation tax and VAT when you hit a certain threshold. So what would be the answer? How do you actually work around that? Well, initially I would say look at companies where you don't have to pay taxes. I mean, a lot of people go for Dubai for that reason. But be careful, there are still taxes in Dubai that you need to pay for. There is a certain threshold that you pay VAT as well. So there is no such thing as a free lunch. You have to do all the research. And remember, even with the correct company set up, you spending time in a certain country and overstepping that line could also mean you end up screwing up the whole thing and pay taxes for a different country. So your tax residency and your domicile status are two separate things. That crazy, I know, but it's important stuff. So where you stay most, which countries are you staying in the year? Are you overstepping their tax threshold? So if you stay in a country too long, you end up paying their taxes for global income. So I'm not a tax advisor, as I said. There are so many things such as double taxation laws that you can actually look into as well, which will help you not pay taxes twice. But this is where you need the expert advice, but just bear those points in mind. There is one more point which I think is going to completely knock it out the park for you guys, because if all of that seemed confusing, I don't blame you. It's pretty confusing stuff. It took me 3 years to move from the UK to Monaco, and I had to strategically close companies down as instructed by my tax advisors because I didn't want to have any extra UK tax liabilities where I didn't need to, right? So everything has to be done legally, professionally, etc. And also, this last point is honestly going to help you out more than you realize. And it's all about asset protection. Because asset protection means that there is a way that you could actually completely not have to pay taxes legally in the UK, not have to pay taxes legally in any other country, even if you're domiciled more or whatever. And it's through a special asset protection structure that I often have discussed in my private memberships and my private mentorship groups. And for the first time ever this year, I actually released it. It's called Fast Track Protect My Money. So I get an actual asset protection advisor who helps you protect your assets so that no one can take them. Vultures, such as litigation, business partners, divorces, whatever you can think of. Your money is protected and safe, but it also means that you don't have to pay taxes. And it's kind of like I actually discovered it after I moved to Monaco, and I thought, oh, I could have stayed in the UK, but then I wouldn't have had the sunshine. So I'm happy, but it is such a big discussion, and sometimes you learn these things as you go further into your journey. I'm always learning, and I want to share it with you guys because I always wished I had someone like me helping out the average human being, which was me when I started, right? So wealth creation is all about constantly learning and keeping up to date with the new laws, because taxes change all the time. The tax laws and everything changes in this world, so you got to keep on top of it. But the latest things that I want to show you is in the Fast Track Protect My Money. So if you want more help on this, click the link in my bio, in my description about this video, and you will get access to all of that information, and you will learn how to actually live a tax-free life. I mean, it genuinely actually is a reality. So if you want to move to Monaco, up to you. If you don't have to. Maybe just come here for a bit of a holiday. But it is incredible to not have to pay taxes legally. I promise you won't look back. And by the way, the taxes are always there. So you may not pay income taxes and whatever, but you're paying other taxes without you knowing. When you come here, you've got a higher living cost. In the UK, you can get away with paying no taxes legally, but you're still paying council tax, you're still paying, national health services and all the taxes involved in that. And that's it. So if you really want to live a tax-free life, I hope this video helped you. Remember, click on the link below to get onto my mentorship. If you want to go straight to the Fast Track Protect My Money, it's an online training that you get instant access to, lifetime access to, where you get all the loopholes, all the new information about. It's not new, it's just newly released. It's been working for 29 years. This actual structure is bulletproof, right? It can help a lot of people. I'm here to help you guys. This is me being the change that I want to see in the world. I want to have more women being successful and comfortable with it. I want to see more men having success and me helping them on that journey. So honestly, it's been a pleasure just discussing these points. I've never done a video like this. Obviously, you would have known if I had. But I was inspired because living in a tax-free jurisdiction has really opened my eyes to seeing has really opened my eyes to seeing the world and making money in a different way, which I feel like you will honestly appreciate as well. So if you want to do big, great things in your life, this is the information that you need. So enjoy the video, share it with your friends, your business colleagues, and hopefully I see you at one of my events. Speak soon. Bye.